car. It's how you race your car. Welcome back, everybody. Matt and I'm back here. Hope you're doing well. So we had a new Fast and Furious movie come out this week. And me being a huge fan of the franchise, I had to go see it. Even though I haven't been that happy with the last two installments, The Fate of the Furious and Fast 9. I put up my ranking of the Fast and Furious movies the other day. I'll put it at the bottom, at the end of this video, if you want to check that out. But I did see the new Fast 10, Fast X, if you want to call it that. And you know what, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was very entertaining, a lot of fun, a lot of action, and yes, there were still some over-the-top moments, but I think we have learned to live with that, at least ever since like number 6, 7, 8, 9. Luckily, it doesn't take it as far as 9. They have kind of gone down a little bit in the really, no person would survive that at all. Not that there aren't stuff in here that in reality a person wouldn't survive anyway, but at least they toned it down just enough. So let's get into Fast 10. Positive. The action. This movie has a lot of action in it, from car chases to hand-to-hand fights to all-out gun shootouts. I think the action was fun, especially at the scenes at the Vatican. In the first act, that was a long scene with that bomb rolling around the city. That was really cool. Then later on in Brazil, there's another cool fight scene. So I thought the action was very good in here. Also, when it comes to Fast and Furious, you also got to add in the humor. The movie's also pretty funny. Obviously, our newcomer Jason Momoa, I'm going to get to him in a moment, but he has a lot of great funny lines, and his energy and enthusiasm really show off in this movie. Also, we still have the banter between Roman Pierce and Tej, played by Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris. Their back and forth is also always hilarious, and here, no different. Getting into Jason Momoa, if you take the Joker and Silva as in Javier Bardem's character in Skyfall, the third Daniel Craig James Bond movie, put them together, and you got Jason Momoa's Dante Reyes. He is the son of the main Reyes, who was the villain of Fast 5. This movie ties into Fast 5 a lot. And Jason Momoa is the Joker and Silva combined. What I mean by that is, he has this evil, serious, like creepy, scary moments, but then he's also like this flamboyant. You don't know if he's homosexual, kind of like Javier Bardem in Skyfall, that you combine them and you got this interesting, cool, scary at times. There are moments that you can tell where they pulled inspiration from the Joker. There's a scene that really is right out of The Dark Knight. And then there's another scene that is so creepy. That is the creepiest scene I've ever seen in a Fast and Furious movie. That the people sitting a few rows, seats down, were actually covering their eyes. I mean, they couldn't believe how, almost like out of a horror film. Or it'd be something like the Joker would do. Like the psychotic, crazy side of the Joker. And you go, wow, they went there. But it also made him an interesting character. You can tell Jason Momoa came to play, and he really came to play in this movie. But I can't wait to see more of him. The pacing. This movie is, I think, one of the longest Fast and Furious movies, at 2:20. And the pacing flies by. I don't know if F9 was the longest, I know that was pretty long, but compared to F9, this movie's pacing is so much better. The new characters, we get a lot of new characters in this movie. Brie Larson and a lot of you don't like her out in Hollywood, but as a character, I thought she actually did a good job. And she was in it a lot more than I thought she was going to be. So that was a plus. Alan Ritchson, you might know him from the Amazon show Jack Reacher. He's in this movie. He's like the Hulk, muscle, all muscle. And he's an interesting character. I'm not going to give anything away, but I enjoyed him on screen. Danielle Melchior. Some people might recognize her from the Suicide Squad movie from James Gunn a couple years ago. She played the rat catcher character. She's in this movie. I won't spoil who she is, who she's related to. But I actually like her character. I hope you see more of her down the road. And Leo Abuelo Perry. He plays Dom's little son. And he's actually pretty funny. He has a lot of great little moments with John Cena. Him and John Cena are mainly paired together in this movie. And I actually like John Cena in this movie. He was a little bit more fun of a character than the last movie we saw him in. I like how this movie ties back to Fast 5. To me, the granddaddy of the Fast and Furious movies. So that was a plus. Also, this is like a positive and a negative. This is becoming like the Star Wars universe of even a new character is related to somebody we know. Like almost every Brie Larson character is related to somebody we've seen in Fast and Furious. Obviously, Jason Momoa's character is related to someone we've seen in the Fast and Furious. Danielle Melchior, her character is related to someone we've seen in the Fast and Furious. So, like, there's no original character that is just created on their own, not tied to anybody at this point in the Fast and Furious. So, I mean, like, that can be a positive to some people, that can be a negative to some people. That just depends on how you look at it. Really quick, I forgot to mention, before we get back to the rest of the review, I complained about the Fate of the Furious, where they had Charlize Theron on the computer the whole time, typing, rather than, action. And she's known for action, like Atomic Blonde, and Aeon Flux, and a few other, like The Old Guard on Netflix. Here, in the new Fast 10, they actually have her doing fight scenes. When I was talking about hand-to-hand combat, Charlize Theron does a little boom, boom, boom in the first act with some of Jason Momoa's henchmen. And then later in the movie with Lenny, Michelle Rodriguez, which is that was teased in the trailer. So it's nice to see Charlize Theron, who doesn't have a whole lot to do in this movie, but when she does, she actually gets in on the action this time and does some fighting. I think the studio saw The Old Guard and were like, yeah, why haven't we had her do any fight scenes? I don't know. Another thing real quick too is I like the soundtrack in this movie. I mean, it has some new songs, but it also has like some little music cues from Fast 5, since this one is more linked to Fast 5. So I really like how they kind of brought some of that music back, whether when they're in Brazil, or there's a race scene that you hear the music that was back in Fast 5. So I like the music choices in this one. And I like the race scene a lot. I mean, we've seen race scenes in all the Fast and Furious movies to some extent. And at first you're going to be like, okay, this is getting tiring. They're racing. But actually what they do in this scene, I won't spoil it, but it added some tension and suspense. And it was actually a really, really good scene. So, yeah, those were some thoughts that I forgot to bring up during my initial filming of the review. Now let's get back to the rest of the review. My negatives. My main negative with this movie is there's too many characters. I mean, when they say the word family, I don't know if they're Italian, Hispanic, but, Italians and Hispanics have big families. Well, this family keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That it almost becomes too many characters. There's a lot of subplots in this movie. There's a subplot dealing with Letty and Cypher. There's a subplot dealing with John Cena and Dom's son. There's a subplot dealing with Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Natalie Emmanuel, and Sung Kang, Han, if you will. I mean, that's 4 subplots right there. And that's not even dealing with the main villain, Jason Momoa, what Vin Diesel's going on over here, what Brie Larson is going on over here, and Alan Richson is going on over here. There's a lot of subplots. And it almost becomes too much where you don't really have time to really just focus. I mean, yeah, they have little moments, but you still don't have time to really focus on these characters. You just, from one scene to the next scene to the next scene. Also, speaking of that, too many characters, when you look at this cast list on IMDb, it's like a rundown of so many people. But then when you watch the movie, a lot of these actors are only in one scene. I mean, let me just tell you, Rita Moreno, one scene. Jordana Brewster as Mia, Dom's sister, Brian's wife. You would think she was going to be in the whole movie. She only has one scene in this movie. Okay, 2. But they're only in the first act. Who else? Scott Eastwood returns. He's only in one scene. And if you were excited to see more of Jason Statham, be prepared. What you saw in the trailer is about what you see in the movie. And that's the thing here. These actors just come in for one scene and that's it. It's like they were on set for one day, got their paycheck and said, adios. And it's like, what? And I would say even, I won't go into Letty's story, Michelle Rodriguez, but I would even say her story is like, you're going to cut both the John Cena storyline and the Letty storyline into like a 2 to 3 minute scene, and that would have been made the movie shorter, and maybe had more time knowing these newer characters, and flesh them out a little bit more. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed this a lot more than Fast 8, Fast 9. I wouldn't say it's up there with Fast 5 or Fast 6, but I would say, like it's better than 8 and 9. So I would say it would be somewhere in the middle of 5, 6, 7, and 1. So for number 10, I would probably put it in the middle. So I would give this at least a 4 out of 5. It's very entertaining, a lot of laughs, cool action, better paced film than the others. And this movie does end on a cliffhanger, because this was going to be part 1, Fast 10, Fast 10 part 2. I don't know what they're going to call it. So just keep that in mind, this movie does end on a cliffhanger. We haven't gotten one of those in a movie in a while, so I would give this a 4 out of 5. But let me know, did you see Fast 10? What did you think? You like it more than the other ones? Let me know in the comments below. Matt the Matt here.